everybody, welcome to another video. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for joining me once again. This last week was a very intense week for me. I had some really high highs and some really low lows. And maybe this is just me projecting, but I feel like it had an effect on the photography and the outings that I went on. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 different outings. The first outing that I'm going to share with you was from Union Station and Placito Olvera. I wasn't there very long, but I just, I got to Union Station. The light was really amazing. And so I made a couple of frames and then crossed the street over to Placito Olvera. So one of the things that I want to share about this particular outing was that I challenged myself most of last week to shoot in black and white on my Fuji XF10. And even though I constantly post pictures in black and white, I usually shoot them in color and then convert them in post. Shooting in black and white was just an interesting exercise for me. Anyways, here are the results of that first outing. Once again, all pictures in this first segment and all B-roll in this first segment was shot with the Fuji XF10, and I hope you enjoy. A couple of days later, I decided to go to Hollywood and Highland. I've been going to Hollywood and Highland quite a bit lately, primarily because there's so many characters there and so many things happen there that normally I wouldn't see. Here is the second segment. These are from the Metro and Hollywood and Highland. Once again, B-roll, pictures, XF10. Okay, so now we are at the part of the video in which I shared with you some of the pictures from the Fuji XE3. You know, I'm planning on going on a couple of trips, and I'm experimenting quite a bit with different setups to see which setups I want to take with me. One of the curiosities that I've been having lately is what's it like shooting on the street with a long lens? And so for this particular outing that I'm going to share with you, I took my XE3 and I took a 100mm 2.8. This is a Zuko lens. This is a film camera lens that I adapted to my XE3. On the XE3, it renders a focal equivalent of 150mm on a full frame camera. And so I was there. I noticed that, you know, they were filming a movie, and there was a lot where they had all of the old cars, and I thought I would make a couple of photographs with this 100mm lens. Another one of the things that I've been really curious about is how do people get cinematic photographs? And so I've been kind of attempting with post-processing as well as with shooting in a 16:9 ratio. So the previous two outings that I shared with you, the previous two segments, I forced myself to shoot you know, with black and white previews on my camera. For this particular shoot, I shot it in color, the previews, but I made the previews 16:9. And just to change my perspective, to kind of challenge myself with composition. And here's my attempt at making photos that are a little bit more cinematic. All of the pictures in this next segment were shot with the Fuji XF10, except for one picture. I'm not going to tell you which picture that is, but I will give you a hint. It's a guy in a trolley. He's smiling. That was shot with the XE3 and the Fuji 23mm f2. All of the B-roll in this last segment was shot with the Fuji XE3 and the 23mm f2. So thank you so much for joining me in another video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Here is the last segment, and I'm really hoping to see you in next week's episode. Thank you. Bye.